is going on, Blue Chips? How we doing tonight, Friday night? So, a little insight, and since Vincenzo is all about me being transparent and seems to love it so much, I just cut my hair on my own. Like, look at this. I just did this. It was like super long. I realized the haircut place was closed. I pulled out the clippers, trimmed up the beard a little bit. Got the nice short hair. I obviously couldn't do the back, like trim up the back, so I'm going to have to get the wife to do that in the morning. But, man, I'm kind of impressed. I mean, I cut my kids' hair, so I kind of know what I'm doing. But I didn't expect it to come out looking so fresh and so clean. Let's get to it. All right. Let's go. I wish this was a balls, but it's not. It's a Coke. So, sorry about that. How we doing? What kind of plans you guys got for the weekend? Anybody else got some good plans for the weekend? What's up, Tom? How we doing? Vincenzo, again, welcome. Transparent, topical, husband, father, trader, and ballroom dancer. Blow up the webcam. Let's see it. All right. Let's see. I think I have. Well, yeah, let's see. Starting to go bald a little bit, it looks like. It's kind of weird because, like when you look in a mirror, you can kind of see where your hands go. But I feel like looking at the stream, it's like backwards. Like you can see, I didn't do the backs. But I need to maybe work on around the ears a little bit. But hey, for free? I mean, come on. Got to save up in case we blow up our account or something. And, need a refund or, something. Gotta save that monies. Save that monies, honeys. What's up, Thomas? What's up, Dario? I just love doing that. I'm sorry. Dario. Oh, Tom. So, I don't really have, anything to teach you guys, or I don't have a subject at hand tonight. I just want to go back and just kind of discuss my week and just how frustrating it was. I mean, this week was just a kick in the nuts. But we all know, well, most of us don't know, but a lot of us do know that you're gonna lose, right? The idea, however, let's go full screen here. The idea, however, is to not lose this often, right? I mean, I'll blow myself up a little bit more here again. So I've taken this week, February 4th, was the start of the week, right? February 3rd, actually, but oh yeah, okay, so that's in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we took 17 trades this week. Here, let me just do it this way. It'd be much easier. So February 4th to the 8th. That's not right. Oh, this is 2019. I was back when I, didn't trade at all. I mean, I traded, just I was very, very selective. February 3rd to the 7th. Okay. So that is atrocious to look at, 23%. But I'm not going to lie. We just watched a video online via Jared over at Live Traders. And it's actually a video he did back in 2018. But it was about how he had a week where he went over and he lost every single trade that he took. And that's kind of how I feel this week, even though, as you can see, the stats don't show that. And it has nothing to do with the monetary value. And if anything, changing some things up with the strategy and, as far as all of that goes, I'm kind of happy that we downsized a little bit, right? Because it ended up not being a really big monetary loss. However, just the mental aspect of this, the emotions that go into the amount of losing, let alone we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 losses in a row over the course of 2 days. And we only snuck that one in there at the end on Vivus. And the next day, the next 2 days, we pretty much kept losing. I mean, and it was in the not the afternoon, but like later in the morning that we kind of snuck these wins in, when usually you probably wouldn't even have found those, but they were pretty good setups on both of them. So, Z-Lisk, what's going on, man? Thomas already said, what's up to you? Sakole. So, just to kind of go back through the week, we all know that I was attempting to work on a strategy. Let's go back to my charts here for a second. Okay. So let's pull up the TraderSync here. Let's put it up here. That way I got everything kind of separated and I can still see you guys. So we're going to start with TAL. Now, TAL, let me pull up the chart up here. All right. So we got in this one at 54.88. I guess I can't do that yet, can I? I mean, I can draw the line, but this isn't the right day. So 54.88. And let's go back to Monday. All right. So this was a pretty good trade because, yeah, so Mr. Nice, when I traded Vivus, I didn't even realize it was a low float. That was completely a mistake on my end. So yeah, good catch there. I do not trade those, and that one kind of snuck in there on me. And I think the reason it snuck in there on me is because I pulled it up, and I remember Vivus. Vivus was the one that everyone was saying that they couldn't short on the live stream. Everyone kept saying for some reason CMEG's not letting me short it, and I was like, well, you guys have shares. And I sat there and watched it trade for a little bit, and it wasn't really trading like a low float. So when it kind of gave me an entry, which wasn't really an entry, which I could show you guys, that was actually my first entry on that thing was pretty bad. And then I ended up finding a better entry on it later. So let me see. It's going to blow it up. Okay, we'll just go full screen. So here's the chart. So on my first entry, it was as it just kind of made that pop right through the previous resistance. And if you guys know me at all, I don't trade that. But I don't know why. I couldn't do it on demo, obviously, because that wouldn't prove that you could short it or not. And I was just like, you know what? This is a pretty big pop. It'll probably drop down a little bit and we can just cover. Let me just prove to these guys that you can short it. And then obviously it didn't work. It went high day, so we just covered out because obviously we didn't want to get stuck in something like this. But then it started to actually, show a move. It got rejected at 4. We jumped in on the back end and we wrote it back down. So, and we actually took half the shares here. So this was actually a full break even ticker because we took 100 shares here and then we only took 50 shares here. So we had to get twice the move to make our money back. So that was that on Vivus. And yeah, I do remember that now that you had brought that up. So let's pull this back up here. Alrighty. Lots of clicking going on right now. So on TAL, this was a pretty standard one. We jumped in this one at that 54.88 and we ended up covering at 53.51. So let's draw 53.51. Now keep in mind, this one we only took 10 shares on this one because we were using this new setup that we had came up with, and we were still trying to play the front side at the beginning of the week. And I believe it was not TAL because we ended up actually winning on the second one too on BE. BE was actually another good trade. So, it might actually just be easier to show you guys the charts. Let's just do that instead of trying to find them. So BE was kind of the same thing. You can see we pretty much top ticked this thing and we ended up getting our half R because what we were doing at the beginning of the week is we were still trying to play the front side of the moves. with the possibility of 2 entries. So we were basically taking our max risk per trade and splitting it in 2 and making it two entries, basically. And so if it wanted to continue, we would look to get in full size, and we would set a stop at whatever our 1R was, and we would set a take profit at 2 to 1. Like that was, or we were doing 1 to 1 at that point. That's what we were looking for. So that was kind of the set plan. But as you're going to see here, Zishan, wait, another giveaway. Did I miss it? I was watching the Democratic debate. No, no giveaway. Maybe we'll give something away. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to be, this pen is a 5 cent pen. Maybe we'll ship it to a person of choice. No, I'm just kidding. So this is what my typical old plays would kind of look like, right? If I would nail the top, we'd cover into this wash, blah, 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 right? But we couldn't figure out a way to really make that system work without following we weren't following our rules, which we're going to get into that a little bit here as well. But basically, those were the only 2 winners, and then it turned into this LTHM, which was just a pain in the ass. So, and this happened 2 days in a row. Famous Dave, what's going on, man? I love your ribs. Even though the place that was by us actually closed down, so they must not have been that good to everybody else. So we tried the 2 entry system on this one, and no matter how we would have played this, even if we would have did the 1-1-2 here, we still would have got stopped out. No matter how we would have played this on the front side, we would have got stopped out on LTHM. So this thing just kind of sucked. But as you can see, we actually ended up trying to play this thing a couple times. And the first time was, okay, maybe we're a little early. It tried to consolidate, had a little bit of a fake out through high a day. Let's see if we can play this thing as it goes back down. So we jumped back in, and it didn't break back down. It ended up going high of day. So we stopped out, right? Just a little right or right out type trade. Well, we realized it did the exact same thing. It was kind of a fake out again. So we jumped back in, and we were wrong. It tried to come down, but it obviously didn't want to. It decided to go high a day. So we said, okay, you know what? We're just going to let it do its thing and see if it gives us another actual entry. So it comes down, it comes back up, does not poke through high a day this time, tries to come back up, and it actually makes a lower high yet again. As you can see right here on this candle, it actually gets rejected. And then as it's coming down, we're like, okay, it's looking like this is a descending triangle, and it's going to try to break this key area again around 1080. So we jump in looking for that break. It gets down towards that area and says, nope, we're not done yet, and goes high of day. So we stop out again. And I remember looking at this chart later in the day. I think it closed right at 11. So it just literally went sideways the rest of the day. So this was just a frustrating piece of crap, and we kept trying to play it over and over again, and it did not work. So then on to COTY, which this was the next day. Brought to you by Coca-Cola. I actually just sent an email to Balls, by the way. It's funny because I sent them an email. I told you guys this. I sent them an email asking them to, sponsor the channel just by giving me a case of Balls here and there. And they didn't have anything on their website where you could send them like anything to do with being sponsored as like an influencer, I guess is what they have it labeled as. So I went back to send them another one because I said this is back when I had like 600 subscribers. So thank you guys for the support. Always appreciate that. But I was like, hey, now I'm close to 1,500 subscribers. Let me go try again. And I went to their website to go to the contact us, and it said, sponsorship. So I clicked that, and it said, are you looking for a sponsorship for like a LAN party, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then it said influencer. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I did that with my last email. So obviously I don't know if I did or not, but I basically wrote in saying, hey, love your product. I like to show it off on my streams. I stream every single day. Hook me up is basically what I said. And hopefully they'll hook me up. So COTY, this thing was pretty much the same thing, right? This is the one problem with the system that I was using. The two entries on the front side is if you're wrong and you're early, you are always going to get stopped out at your max risk, right? So if I have a 1R max risk and I get in and it just goes to that point, I have to stop out no matter where it is. It's just how it works. So when I got in the second time, it tried to come back down, as you can see, just a little bit, and it shot right back up, stopped us out, and then as you can see, it opened up again over here and then came back down, and then went back up, and blah, blah, blah. So pretty much no matter how we would have played this, even if we got in towards the top where we covered here, which would have gave us a little bit more leeway, we still would have got stopped out, right? Because this thing went high of day from there again, and we would have put our stop there. Maybe we would have put it over 13, but that would have been really pushing our 1R there. So we wouldn't have, because we were so keen this week on following the rules, right? We wanted to follow the rules to a T. And of course, as you can see, after that second push, this actually looks very similar to a trade that we took this morning, which we'll get to on HBI. But so this is what happened, and as you can see, it kind of fizzled out the rest of the day. So let's go to the next one. Appreciate that, Zishan. BTU. So this was the next day, and BTU, this is pretty much the same thing that LTHM did to me the day before. So this time we were on the front side, and as you can see, it tried to come back down after we got that. There's a little red triangle behind there. You can't see it, but we got our second entry. It tried to come back down, and it went right back up to high of day, and that's where our 1R was, and we got stopped out. So it went through, and as you can see, the cut spots were good. It's just a matter of, I guess, getting back in. The entries might have sucked, but we ended up getting back in as it pushed to high of day and extended itself again. It even went through that key 850 area, so we were looking for a push back down towards there and maybe some continuation to the downside. It pushed up a little bit further. We got to add because it felt like it was done. And I do remember this one. It did try to come down just a little bit, and then it just pushed right through, and it hit our stop, as you can see there, and it just kept on going. So, and then it tried to come back down, and it went back up, and I remember right after this candle, it felt like it was coming down. We jumped back in one last try, and it just didn't want to fall, right? And we got stopped out again when it went high day. So that was BTU, and I believe this might have been the last trade that I took like that, because I was just getting so frustrated. Yeah, because Vivas was me just showing the stream that you could short it. That was a bad first entry, stopped out, and then we actually took a real entry on the backside, which is kind of what the rest of the week was, where I was going. So starting on Thursday, I basically am looking for the same plays. So what's James say? I struggle trying to short stocks like TAL with a high short percentage. Maybe checking that before the trade could help you. Yeah, there's that's, and I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Everyone has, and trust me, James, I've looked into that. I really have. I used to try to figure out every which way to get an edge on the market. And you'll start to learn the more that you trade that all that stuff is pretty meaningless unless it's a low float. The low floats are where that stuff really matters. But if you're playing the stocks that aren't low floats, that stuff is fairly meaningless. It really is. But anyways, back on subject. GLU, and again, what I was getting at is, real quick, there's a million different ways to make money in the market. So if you can find an edge yourself within that, then power to you, man. Seriously, power to you, because that's what this is all about. I'm hoping that something that I say will trigger something for you that makes you a better trader. That's all. And whether it's doing something that I'm doing, or it just kind of makes a light bulb go off to help you do what you're doing even better than you're doing it now, like, that's the whole point of this, right? I'm not sitting here trying to sell you that the way I'm doing things is the best way to do it, because clearly this week has shown that there are drawbacks to every strategy. So always keep that in mind. There's always going to be drawbacks. Anyone that sits here and is like, oh, I got the holy grail, it wins every day, and stuff like that, like, yeah, cut them out, because they're lying to you. Seriously, they're just straight up lying to you. So GLUU, this was the first trade. I said, you know what? We're going to let the front side happen. we're going to let it happen. This is something I've tried in the past a couple times, and it's worked fairly well. But and I'm just going to give you an example on GLUU here. So say this was running, and I tried to get in on the front side on this pop through 7. And I was like, oh, this is nice. It went up through 720. So we entered at 720, and it keeps going. Reject 750 on the dot, so we get to add at, say, 740. So that puts our average at 730. Well, guess where my first entry was, just letting all that happen on the front side and getting in on the back side. It was right there at 730. So I ended up with the same average that if I were to fight the front side to get onto the backside where there might be a little bit more confirmation. So that was the idea behind this. Now, the same thing if I'm trading on the front side, GLUU here, I'm looking for the same thing. If I entered at 720, got the add at 740, I'm looking for that breakdown through 730 to make money down towards like $7 or, whatever, the take profit is at that point. And it just didn't happen. I mean, look at this. We're a little light on the share size here. So when it popped back up, I was like, okay, this could be sloppy seconds. We'll look to add, and then we'll risk everything off high of day. And in this case, as you can see, it did not roll back over. It decided to go high of day. And it's just one of them ones where it just didn't work. So let's go to the next one. Now, keep in mind, the rest of my trades this week were with that same premise. So same thing here on Twitter. TWTR, let the move happen as it was coming down. And the premise behind letting it come down is I was looking for a key, like almost like a pivot area. So basically, as these candles are getting smaller and smaller, I find the bottom of the topmost candle as it's making a high, which I took it as this candle right here. And I basically say when the price starts breaking under that key area, I'm going to jump in. Because that is most likely an opportunity that it's on its way back down. And as you can see, I was right, but I'm not looking for the scalps, right? I'm looking for the same play as if I were to get in on the front end, looking for this thing to fall back over and make some money, right? No different than my strategy since I've started this channel, right? It's just I'm looking to start it on the back end and have a set risk based off of pretty much high of day. So as you can see, this one didn't work either. It decided to try, and it bounced, then went high of day and stopped us out. And as you can see, it was a good move because it just kept on going higher. Now, over here, we did try Twitter one more time. I don't even remember why. I think I just remember seeing that it looked weak because it kind of does. It was kind of going sideways, and we got a few red bars there, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And obviously, we were wrong. We ended up stopping out break even on this one because once it tried, and then we let it go again because we were using high of day. It came back down. We were like, okay, actually, it doesn't look like we were breaking. That actually does look like high of day. So, yeah, we did get stopped at high of day there. But, again, it just didn't work on. This was the main trade over here. What's up, JK? The reason why I want to do day trading so I can start a hedge fund and help lower class and middle class people to become wealthy in the future. That's awesome, Zishan. Seriously, that's awesome, man. That is not why I want to do it, but props to you. Jeff, what's up, man? How we doing? So HBI, this was from this morning, and I didn't even put the images in yet. Let's throw those in here real quick. So HBI was pretty much the same thing. Get the move. It's coming back down, and this is a pretty good idea. So you see the high of day candle here. It decided to come under that high of day candle. We jumped in. It did try to work, but again, we're not looking for the scalp. We're looking for the bigger move, like at least down to this key area here. Was this like 1475 or something like that? And it just didn't quite get there. And then it bounced right back up, and I was like, okay, well, we'll get there. No big deal. We'll probably, maybe get like some sloppy because this was a big red candle. So I was not expecting this thing. It just started slow, and then it just started squeezing, and it got towards high of day, and it stopped. And I was like, okay, all right, let's get rejected here at high of day. And all of a sudden, it just got that one last little push, went through high of day to 1537. I had my order. The previous high day was 1534. I put my order at 1535, which we're going to get to that in a second. and I got 2 cent slippage. It filled me at 1537, which ended up being high of day for the day. Like, let's go take a look real quick at what HBI did the rest of the day. So that's what HBI did the rest of the day. It literally ended up going down to I mean, obviously I'm not going to hold through all this, but it got down to a low of almost $14. And we top ticked it at 1537 going the wrong way. So yeah, that was a bit frustrating. And what I said I was going to get to it in a second was about setting my stop. So I was talking to Brian from Intensity Stock Watch Scanners, and he basically said you can't put your stop 1 cent over high a day because the market makers know that that's where a lot of people put their stops. They're going to push to those points on purpose to get that liquidity before dumping it off, right? He said, move it 6 cents or even 11 cents. Like, change your button so that when you're hitting the button to risk your set amount at high of day, make that high of day plus 6 or 11 or whatever it is based on the stock kind of thing. And I was like, wow, that's a really good idea. Don't know why I never thought of that before. It was like a light bulb moment that I didn't create. So I was like, are you serious? Like, this was like, this trade right here, this one trade that we're talking about now is what caused my thumbnail for today. The one where I had all those letters implementing a curse word. And seriously, like, I was like, are you serious? Like, you had this big drop and you're going to tell me you're going to squeeze to high day just to stop me out by a couple pennies and then drop back down and fade the rest of the day. So I was a little frustrated. He is Jeff. Dave, what's going on, man? You know, I never asked you if I could call you Dave. I've always just called you David because most people that don't want to be called Dave and their name is David, they will actually make their name David so that people don't call them Dave. But every time I look at my Discord, I always just say Dave in my head, and I actually call you Dave to my wife. So I hope that that's okay. But you seem like the kind of guy that would want to be called David. So if that's the case, I'm sorry. A little sidetrack there. So going back to Jared from Live Traders real quick, I said this on the live stream this morning. I said that he had went over a video, or he made a video talking about what he calls the 84% rule. Now, he calls this the 84% rule because he actually went back and back tested 1,000 trades of his own and came up with that number, the 84%. Okay, good. So now I don't feel too bad. So basically what the 84% rule is, for anyone that didn't catch it this morning, you make an entry, it gets stopped out by a couple pennies, whatever it is, it comes back down to your entry, you can jump back in. Because 84% of the time, this is what he found out, it's going to work. Now, this obviously isn't going to apply for everyone's strategy. But if your strategy is a good strategy and it usually works, he's saying that the majority of people will get 84% win rate by re-entering the trade after the first one failed, just by, from getting stopped out on something like this. So if it goes up against you, stops you out, and then comes back down and reclaims that same price, he says take the same exact trade, take the same entry point, the same amount of shares, the same stop point, and 84% of the time that's going to pan out for you. And in this case, he would have been right. And I had this in the back of my head. I was actually explaining it as these candles were happening. And I told myself, if we could get that pop through 15 again, I would like to get back in. And we did get that pop through 15, but not like an actual pop. It only got to like 1502, and then it came right back down. So that was my immediate, okay, this thing wants to fail VWAP. We're going to jump in and try to ride this thing down. So it was 1506. I know for a fact because I remember we put our stop at 1507. This candle here, we originally saw this pivot point. So when we jumped in, we were basically saying this was a right or right out type trade. So it actually gave us a nice initial drop. It popped back up to VWAP, faded back down, and we're like, sweet, this thing's going to VWAP fade. So at this point, we were risking off of if it went through this pivot point. But when it came back down like this, I saw, okay, we have VWAP, we have the whole $1.15 and we're good to go. Like, we're just going to ride that down. However, I started to notice that we had this previous support, which was then used as resistance right here. And I said, okay, that was at 1492. Our average was at 1493. So I said, if we get through that area, we're just going to take a break-even trade, because the odds are, if it gets through there, it's going to continue and probably go through that pivot point anyway, because it'll be through VWAP. It'll be right to the whole dollar. It's going to be a whole dollar magnet, and the odds are it's going to at least try to go through that. Well, as you guys saw, it ends up hitting this 15 area after it stops us out, and it never goes through 15 and then fades the rest of the day. So I was a little mad at myself for not accepting the risk there and not wanting to take the small loss versus just taking a break-even trade, because it would have ended up being a good winner. It would have ended up giving us the 2-to-1 on our money if we really wanted it to wait that long. So that was the frustrating trade on HBI today. And then we had one more trade, which was not a typical trade that you see from me, but it was something we saw later in the day, and we ended up taking it. It was a descending triangle. This is what we call a blueprint trade over at Intensity Stockwatch. Basically, it's a para into a descending triangle. It squeezes nice and tight, and then you get the breakdown. And it's a 1-to-1 trade. So when we jumped in, we were risking right here over this area. It was the whole dollar and VWAP, so we were risking over 60. We put our stop right at 60.01. We got in at 75. So when we hit 50, that's our 1-to-1. We took it, right? So we were happy with that trade. And just to show you guys real quick, if I can spell. If you go to Intensity Stockwatch website, just go to Overview, Intensity Blueprint, and if you scroll down, you will see right here, high intensity bearish trade, short sale stock trade. So basically it's showing you, let's go back so we can pause. What the heck? Okay. So you get the alert, it comes up, you form into a descending triangle, and it breaks down. And he's just throwing a second example in there that it can just kind of, as it's fading the rest of the day, it can create a second triangle. So a real life example, you get the move up, you get the para, and then it forms a descending triangle, and you get your drop, right? That's your 1-to-1. And then if it wants to form another one, there you go, you get a second one. Same thing here, get the big move up, starts forming a descending triangle, you get the drop down. So again, this was just a pretty textbook trade. I saw it forming there on CAH, so we decided to jump in, and it worked. So those are the nice simple ones. They're always going to be set risk plays, and again, that was right off the scanner. So that was kind of an easy one. I was kind of frustrated with the way I was trading everything else, so I decided to just jump in and see if it worked, and it did. So are you going to work on your long strategies once you get your short strategies down? Well, essentially, Zishan, my short strategy is the same as my long strategy, because you would apply it the same exact way that you are your short strategy. You would basically just flip the chart, right? So once I figure out my short strategy, I will already have a long strategy. I just have to play them. And the other reason I don't play them is because I just feel that longs tend to take longer, and they don't tend to work as often, at least in my personal experience. Shorts tend to work a little bit better. I feel the human emotion behind the price coming back down is a little bit easier for people than, like, it's a lot easier for everyone and their emotions to sell into a stock that's going higher, because, you know, if they're making a little bit of money, they're more inclined to sell. Where if a stock's dropping, most people aren't going to buy a stock that's dropping, right? They're going to think, what's wrong with the stock? You know, something's obviously wrong. And only the real people that are buying when stocks are dropping are usually, like, you know, the big guys, because they're taking advantage of the fear and the emotions behind that fear of everybody else, all the more amateur retail traders. So I just know that when you get moves to the upside, you get a lot of FOMO, but then once that FOMO is done, everyone tends to kind of just sell and try to take their profits or break even or whatever, and it usually drives the price down a lot quicker. Where when a stock is dropping to the downside, and you do see the rubber band effect the other way, but a lot of times it's because, like, you'll get a lot of shorts that are covering, and stuff like that. It's not usually, I would assume, I obviously don't know this for sure, but it's probably not people just FOMOing into a trade buying stock as it's falling, because, there's one of the key things that people teach you right off the bat is, don't catch a falling knife. And I couldn't agree more, to be completely honest, but there are times where you're going to want to, look to get in. And it's kind of like playing the front side of a parabolic move to the upside. All of that is technically just the parabolic move to the downside, right? So you're kind of doing the same thing. It's just in reverse. So David says buying fear does work, though. May just take longer. And if you want anyone to prove that that is correct, Dave would be the guy, because that's all he does. I don't think I've ever seen Dave take a short, and he's killing it. His P&L curve looks nice. Yeah, I'm jelly of his P&L curve. I'll just say that. So that was my week. I don't really have much else to talk about besides the fact that you guys just watched my worst week of trading since I've started. Not from a monetary value, but just from just being a trader and just going through the emotion. And it's kind of funny because I feel fine. I really do. I feel fine, and I owe a lot of that to Mark Douglas. I really do. I sat and watched 4 of his. It's one workshop that he did, but it was split into 4 videos, and they were each like an hour long. But it was basically his book regurgitated into a workshop, basically. So listening to that really hammered it home that once you hit that button to get into a trade, you have absolutely no clue what that trade's going to do, what that ticker's going to do after you hit that button. Nobody knows. Nobody for sure 100% knows what that stock is going to do after you get in that trade. And the sooner you can realize that, the sooner you will be able to make cuts when you're supposed to. And that's all I concentrated on this week, was making sure I never let things get out of hand. Now, HBAI obviously is one of the bad examples. It was a top tick. But how many of the other ones did I show you? Twitter. What was the other ones? Twitter, Vivus, GLUU, BTU, LTHM. All of those, when I cut those, they just kept going higher, right? Well, the old me, when I first started this strategy, I would tend to fight those. I would get in on the front side. I would try it. It would go high a day. I'm like, nah, screw you. You're just not ready to go down yet. And then I would add to my position. And it would start to come down, wouldn't quite do it, and it would go high a day again. And I'm like, you're just not ready yet. And I would add to my position. And I would just sit there and fight it. And it would just grind higher and higher and higher, because you don't know. You don't know if that thing's going to grind higher all day. You don't know if it's going to shoot up straight up and give you a better opportunity. You don't know if it's going to shoot straight down. You don't know if it's going to grind lower. You don't know you don't know if it's just going to go sideways the rest of the day. You don't know. And the sooner you can figure that out, the better off you'll be. I promise you guys. I can't tell you. I just had the worst trading week of my life as far as trading goes. And I feel completely fine. I really do. And I can't believe it. I'm a little shocked to be sitting here saying this. I really am. But it's the truth. I feel 100% fine. No, and believe it or not, again, let me bring this over. Look at all these losses. Would you believe me if I told you that I'm actually excited to keep trading the way that I did these last 2 days for the rest of the month? I'm actually legitimately excited to keep trading this way for the rest of the month. Some people, after losing like 2 or 3 trades with any given strategy, they start to question the strategy. They start to say, why is this not working? Why what can I do to make this strategy work? Should I even be using this strategy? Like things start going through your head and you're like, well, what am I doing wrong? Right? Well, maybe you're not doing anything wrong. Maybe your strategy just isn't aligning with the market right now. Right? And that's what I'm out to find out. Any given week, your strategy just might not work. It just might not work. And I went back and looked at the trades from earlier this week, and if I would have traded them the way that I traded HBI and what was the other one that I traded yesterday? Twitter and GLUU. If I would have traded those or any of the other ones like I did those the last 2 days, they would have all turned out the same way. So it didn't matter how I played them. It was just that the stocks weren't doing what I wanted. Now, granted, if I would have played the front side on this one and I gave myself the set risk of 1R, this might have worked because it would have prevented me from getting faked out on that little quick tap over high of day. So I think this was the one trade that it would have worked out because this one did end up fading the rest of the day. Or COTY actually wouldn't have worked because I did play the front side on that one. If I would have played the back side of COTY, it actually would have worked. So there was one that if I would have played it the other way and on both sides of that story. So, and again, you can't predict that's how it's going to work. But if I was using the same strategy the whole time, then at least one of those would have worked, where in this case, both of them didn't work. But I don't know if Tom is still here. I know Tom had said he might want to jump on with us again tonight. I wonder if, let me shoot a message to Vic. See if Vic's around. If he is, maybe he can jump on. But I doubt that he's going to be a last-minute kind of guy. I know Tom said that he was thinking about possibly jumping on, but it looks like he's playing a game. Let me see if he wants to jump on here, because that's really all I had to talk about. I just wanted to kind of review my week, let you guys know that I'm doing okay. Obviously, feel free to ask any questions. Give me some comments. I'm always open to learn something, right? You guys know that. If you guys ask a question I don't know the answer, we're going to find the answer. We're going to do all that good stuff. All right, so Tom's a no-go. He said, sorry, you took too long. I'm doing something now, which is playing a game, but it's okay. I know. I see his priorities. You don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. So true. Was that from the book? I think that was from the book. How do you get a general sense of the market with respect to your strategy? For example, I mainly momentum trade both directions, but if the S&P 500 is in a tight range, I stay on the sidelines usually. Well, I will tell you that I tend to not pay attention to outside sources. I actually made a video about this a couple weekends ago, talking about outside influences. And to me, the S&P 500, the SPY, anything, whatever you're looking at outside of the stock that you're actually trading is an outside influence. So to give you, James, to give you the honest answer, intensity stock watch scanners. And what I mean by that is there is no noise. The only noise is the scanner. So if I just sit back and I let the scanner do the work for me, when I hear that scanner going off, I just look up and I see what ticker it is. I pull it up. It's most likely going to look something like this, maybe not as intense right off the bat. The point of the scanners is to, get the chart up a little bit early before it's, finished making its move. But that's it. So if I like it and it fits my edge, fits my strategy, I'm going to play it. If it doesn't, I'm going to wait for the next one to go off. It's that simple. I'm not worried about what the S&P 500 is doing. I'm not worried about what Tesla's doing, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, the SPY, oil, degas, UGAS. I'm not worried about any of that. That can do whatever it wants to do. I'm focused on the price action of the current stock that I was told to look at. It's that simple. I have no judgment. I have no bias. And again, the only bias I have is I'm short bias, and I already told you why. It's because I just feel that they work a little bit better and a little bit quicker. So that's the only reason I short stocks more than I long stocks. And for about a week there, or maybe 2 weeks, I think I was longing stocks as well because I was trying a different strategy. And it just turns out that that strategy wasn't suited for me. I felt like that wasn't the kind of risk I was looking to take on a daily basis. And, it's, again, it just wasn't for me. So I tend to like trading this way, the way that I am now. It's what gets me up in the morning. I know it works in the long run. There's plenty of back testing there that, this is a viable strategy. It's just up to me as the trader to get my emotions in check and to figure out how to optimize it as best as I can. How to, maybe get around the emotions of something that I learned earlier today, that I shouldn't be putting my stops 1 cent over high of day because everybody does that. So that's where all the liquidity is. So, and it makes so much sense. I have no idea why I would not think about that. Some people, when I first started trading, they'd be like, oh yeah, put your stop at high of day. And I'm like, you mean above high day? And they're like, no, like at high day. If it goes high a day, you stop out. Like it's going to go high a day. And I'm like, what? No, that's like putting your stop. Like if you're using a whole dollar as a stop, like 15, and for this instance, that's like putting your stop at 15. Why would you do that? There could be a ton of shares there. And if you're in the front of the line, you get filled and then 15 holds. That's just stupid. Like if you really want to put your stop at 15, just put it at 1501. The only problem is you are risking a little slippage there, but at the same time, it's like 15 could be held as a resistance. All whole dollars are usually pretty good resistance. So I never really understood that point. But yeah. So again, we are going to stick with this type of strategy. We're going to look to let the moves happen, and we're going to jump in with some set risk as it's coming back down. The only thing I might change is I was trying to be really technical with my entries. And what I mean by that, I told you guys the bottom of this candle was 1509. We were looking for that break of that 1509 area. We got 1506. The only thing I might do different is put some feel back into the trades. Let it make its top, but as I feel it coming down, I don't have to wait for that key area to break because I could have got an entry up towards like the 1520s because I remember watching this in real time. You can even go watch the live stream from this morning, and I felt that it was coming down. And it was just pretty obvious that it was making a move down. And I was like, I'm going to follow this rule. I'm going to follow the rule. I'm going to follow the rule. I'm going to follow the strategy. Follow the strategy. And I waited for it to break that key. And once I saw it break, I jumped in. And sure enough, it kept on going. It went all the way down to 1484. But we didn't get that continuation that we were looking for to really get our take profit area. So obviously we would have if it didn't jump back up and stop us out. But that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is we could have had a better entry. So that's why. And the better the entry, by the way, the quicker. And if we're going for 2-to-1 on these trades, if I would have got my entry up here at say 1520, my risk off was, let's do the math real quick. So 1534, so 1535. Let me blow this chart up, by the way. I feel like I've been on full screen and you guys probably can't see it as well. There we go. So 1535 minus, let's say we got 1520 as our average. So we got 15 cents there. So we would have needed to make 30 cents from 1520. So that would be 1490, right? So if we jumped in, it dropped to 1484. So if we got our order in at 1490, there's 2-to-1. Done, right? So the better the average we get on that risk, the more shares it's going to take, because that's what this does. So let me find a stock that's near high a day right now. How far did Twitter fall down? Actually Twitter did fall down quite a bit, but that was yesterday. What was the other one we traded? CA8. Oh no, we know that didn't go up. What was something that finished near high of day today? Anybody? Bueller? I don't know. Like what moved and what didn't move and all that good stuff. Let's just try typing some random stocks. Okay, so this will work. So it's sitting at 370 now. the high day was, looks like 397. Yeah, 397. So when I hit this button, we're at after hours anyway, it's going to load the amount of shares. Oh, you guys can't see my montage. Crap. There we go. So when I hit this button, let's clear it. Short risk off high of day. So what this is doing is I hit this button and it loads 59 shares. So 59 shares from, it's giving us the price of 353 because it's giving us what the bid is currently. So if we take our calculator again, just to show you the math here. So 353 to the high of day of 397. So 397 minus 353 is 44 cents. You times that by 59 shares and you get, well, it should have been did I do 350? I should have did 356, right? Sorry. Because it would have gave us a 356 because that's what's there. But I put the script minus, or the bid minus 3 cents just in case it was actually dropping. We still want to get filled. So it would be 3 more cents to the upside. So 41 cents. So 59 times 49. So it's a little closer. But the idea behind the hotkey is to take your risk. Like, so if I show you the hotkey itself, you'll see over here, oops, as we scroll over. So the stop price is, or the share price is 25 divided by the price. And the price is the stop price minus the bid. And the stop price is the high plus 1 cent. So that's what we're going to most likely change. I'm going to give some thought to it over the weekend, decide what I want to change it to. But that's the premise behind the hotkey. It's to give you a stop price as you hit the button. So it's going to take high of day plus 1 cent at this point. Then it's going to give you the price by taking that stop price minus the bid. And then it's going to take that price and divide it by, or get divided into 25. So, and then it gives you your share size. And so basically it's saying you have 59 shares, and if it goes high of day, that's your $25 risk. So then you're looking for 2 to 1 on that, right? So if you wanted to get 2 to 1, I don't know why I keep closing the calculator instead of just moving it. So if we have 356 and we had 41 cents, that would be 82 cents. Oops. We would have to get to 274. So then you could just put your range order in and you could be done with it, right? You're just looking for your 2 to 1. Either you get it or you don't. And that would be a set risk trade. And that's kind of what we're after. So obviously that would have had to make a pretty big move, but that's what I'm saying. The closer you can get the high of day, the better chances you have of nailing that 2 to 1. So that's why the entries do matter, right? And that's why if we go back to HBI real quick, you'll see that if I could have gotten a much better entry up here, I could have hit my 2 to 1 that quick on that one drop. So that's why I think I'm going to start putting feel back into the equation, and we can still risk off high of day. We just might be wrong a little bit more because if it goes high of day, like if it starts to come down and we guess wrong that it's not ready to come down and it just goes high of day, kind of like Twitter did, or some of the other ones did that I showed you, like Glue yesterday. There's nothing you can do about it, right? You're gonna take your 1 hour loss and move on. But how many times you only got to be right 50% of the time on these quick flushes if they happen, or it doesn't even have to be a quick flush. It could just kind of make its way down and you're good to go. So as long as you're 50% on those, you'd be good to go. That's kind of where I'm coming at. Jared puts a stop at high of day or low of day because that's where the liquidity is. He is trying to avoid slippage. Yeah, well, that makes sense. If you're worried about slippage, it makes sense because slippage is a real thing, guys. I experience it all the time because I've been putting my stops right over those key areas. So when it pops through those areas, it's eating all that liquidity like super fast, and so the price shoots up. So whatever liquidity is there, there's going to be more people stopping out and people, buying as it, for the breakout, whatever it is, that the price is going to go up quicker than all the shares that are there. So, or all the shares that are available. So you end up getting some slippage. And it happens to me like all the time. And it kind of sucks because you always end up like on HBI, when I hit the order, I should have only lost 25, but I ended up losing 31 because of the slippage. So when it's coming down and you have your limit order to take profit, you're always going to get your take profit. So it's one of those things where over time, between commissions and slippage, you're going to lose R's over time because of those things. And if that's something that you just can't accept, then so be it. So, okay, ABVV, just to give you guys another example. So yeah, 92.53. The high was 92.98. So if I bring this over just to show you guys. There we go. So if I just click my button there, it would give me 12 shares. So it's actually, and you got to keep in mind, the bid is all the way down at 91.01 right now, which is all the way down here. So obviously that's not going to be realistic when the market's open. But yeah, after hours, sometimes the spreads get a little crazy just because there's, nobody has shares out there. But it is crazy because I've seen like little dots every once in a while that'll actually get hit there. It's kind of funny. Like somebody like mistakenly hits the bid or something in the after hours and whoops. So yeah, David made a good point about putting orders there. But yeah, that is a little bit more advanced than if you're worried about liquidity. But I know I myself am not so much worried about that at the current moment. So that's all I have for you guys. Kind of turn this into a little bit of a Q&A if you guys want. If anybody has any questions that they may have had from earlier, any just current questions that may have been brought up, maybe you have a strategy that you want to talk about. I love Ask David, Ask Constantine, Jeff, anybody who tends to want to talk. I love hearing people's strategies because the more I know how other people are trading, the more I can implement that into my trades. Not necessarily like work against you, but I can see how you're looking at a chart versus how I'm looking at the chart, like what you're expecting a chart to do based off of your strategy. And maybe I can figure out maybe why mine's not working as correctly because maybe you know something I don't, and maybe I know something you don't. So that's kind of the whole point of these, right? It's to gather together and become better traders together. That's the whole point. Form a community that we can all help each other out. That's why we're all here. So come out of the woodworks. It says there's 19 of you here. Ask some questions. Let's get some stuff going. I thought I made this ultra low latency so it wouldn't be much of a delay, but apparently there's still a little bit of delay because I know you guys have been taking a little while to answer me. Vic never got back to me either, so it looks like we're not going to have any guest appearances today. If you guys want, you can go into the Discord. I don't think the chat bot is working. Let's see. Oh, it is working. Sweet. Last time I loaded the stream up the way that I did, it didn't work. But I just linked the Discord in the chat if you guys want to check that out. You can also follow me on Twitter if you're not already. Put that down there as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, obviously. That should be a key one. We'll throw it up there. My cool little animation that's over my face. Didn't realize it was over my face, but... Oh, nope, don't want to see you again. Let's see. Trying to think of just all the logistic stuff. You ever practice with on-demand with different charts and different setups? Yes. I will go to... This is another cool thing about Intensity Stock Watch. Brian, every day... Did that really just come up again? Oh, I was lagging. Okay, so Brian over Intensity Stock Watch, he will every day go in. If you go over here to Overview, nope, go to, maybe it is Overview. Nope, where is it? Is he going to call me a liar? Where's the, did he take the, Oh, man. Well, okay, I'm sorry. Apparently, there used to be where he would list the top alerts every single day. Let's check out the overview. Is it in here? Does not appear so. All right. Well, sorry about that. Huh. Let me load up my scanners and I'll show you what I'm talking about anyway. I didn't know he got rid of that. But yes, Ryan, I do. And I actually, to show you guys, I just got an email back from CMEG because I realized that CMEG made this available, the data stream mode. So if you pull up the data stream mode, it pulls this up, and they actually have a replay feature. And I was watching this on YouTube the other day, but when you hit apply, it says no permission for the replay mode. So I contacted CMEG and I said, hey, I saw that DOS finally gave you guys the update for the replay mode. And they said, oh, okay, well, it's going to cost you $100 a month. And I was like, I'm not paying $100 a month to use this, because I know over at Interactive Brokers, they offer the exact same thing for $15 with on DOS at Interactive Brokers. So it's $15. You get the replay feature. You can go back any day. You put a symbol in any day, and you hit download, and it will let you trade that stock all day, over and over and over again, as much as you want. Blah 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 blah. So I'm really excited that CMEG has the option, but I am not paying $100. And I'm assuming once they figure out that no one is going to pay $100, they might lower the price a little bit. And I even told them that. And I was like, $25, maybe $50, I'd think about it. But $100, that's a no-go. I do at night after I get the kids to bed. I heard DOS, you can do it now. Also, that's funny. Yeah, you can, but apparently not with CMEG unless you pay for it. I have done it on Thinkorswim because it was free, but apparently that's not going to be free anymore. In order to keep your account with TD Ameritrade, I believe that's actually coming up pretty soon. They sent an email out to all the people that haven't had money in their account that if you don't put money in your account, they're going to close your account. So you won't have Thinkorswim for free anymore. So I don't really use Thinkorswim, and the only reason I would use Thinkorswim was the on-demand feature. So apparently I'm not going to have the on-demand capability here pretty soon at all unless I pay for it. So that is what it is. But I did used to do it, and I'm not going to lie. My weekends, that's all I would do at night. I would sit here and trade for hours and hours and hours. And that's what I would be doing if it didn't cost so much on CMEG. I would literally just be doing it over and over. Because I remember saying months ago, like 6-8 months ago, I wish DOS had this feature. And I'd sent that in as like a recommendation. You know, I send DOS some stuff. Every once in a while I'll find something that I'm like, man, I really wish you guys had this. And I'll send it in. And replay was one of them. They told me that they're working on putting your P&L or your average on the chart as a line, like as a feature, like see the high of day here, low of day, or this was actually the close from yesterday. They're looking to put the average line in there. So that would be really nice. So we'll see if that actually ever comes about. And so we shall see. Circuit, what's up, man? Guess you were a little busy a little earlier. You had said you were going to stop by, but then you had never come by. Circuit says, get to 10 likes or else. All you have to do is deposit $1 so your account is active. That is incorrect. I asked them. They said it has to be a minimum of $50. And he's talking about TD Ameritrade, by the way, to keep the platform. That is what they told me. They told me $50 because I emailed them and I said, hey, how much do, or I actually went into their little live support thing. I said, hey, how much money do I have to put in to keep the platform? And they said $50. My trading strategies is playing the gap down more than 20% or gapping up more than 20% with high volume only. So Zishan, are you doing, now I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but are you doing kind of like the Mir Barak thing? I know he kind of does the same thing. He looks for the big gappers and then he looks for the continuation. So he'll look for the bounce at the open. He'll look to get in on that bounce. It's kind of like what GDT used to do. So look for the bounce at the open, and then as it's come back down, you look for the continuation through the low a day after the gap. Which I actually see the idea behind that strat, but I've also seen that it does not work that often. And GDT will tell you the same thing. On a little side note, if any of you are carpenters out there, we're looking to redo my son's bedroom for his 4th birthday. And I was looking into like reading nooks, like units that are like a shelving unit that is also to hold all the books, but is also like a little nook that he can sit in. Live stream fashion show. You want me to like start taking my clothes off? Maybe you can withdraw the 50 after a week. Yeah, I don't know, to be completely honest. How come Circuit can get you guys to like my videos, but I can't get you guys to like my videos? What is this? What is this? I even got the cool little, I even have the cool button. Look at this. Look at that button. That's so cool. It literally says like, subscribe, hit the post notification bell. So every time I go live or post a new video, you'll know about it. But it takes Circuit Jonathan to come in here to tell you guys that. Yeah. The next thing you know, Jonathan's going to be donating $10 saying, hey, you're the best streamer in the world, and I'm not going to know what to do with myself. He owes me. He owes me. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a story. So me and Jonathan we're friends, and we tend to hang out from time to time, IRL. We live 25-ish minutes away from each other. We've hung out once, not going to lie. But we scheduled to hang out this past weekend and go to lunch on Saturday. And we agreed to it on Friday night after the live stream. We were talking. We said, hey, let's hang out. He said, hey, okay, I'll buy you orange chicken. I said, hey, that's amazing, because it was right before I was about to start my diet. I was amazingly ready to have some orange chicken before I started my diet, because it's like one of my favorite things. And then guess what? All I said was, hey, Jonathan, just let me know when you want me to leave, and I'll meet you there on Saturday for lunch. I felt like a girl. I felt stood up. He stood me up. Jonathan stood me up. He stood me up and did not give me my orange chicken. Did not give me my orange chicken. Don't even. I will go back and out you right now. I will go back and I'm doing it. I'm outing you. I'm outing you. All right, here we go. Scrolling up. I'm just going to search orange chicken. And I bet it comes up. Here it is. Here it is. Wait, what date is this? Hold on. Hold on, guys. This is very important. I just don't. Oh, this is really old. Okay, so that was when we first met up. Oh, geez. He stood me up. No, you're lying. Don't you lie to these people, Jonathan. Don't lie to these people. Don't lie. Don't. James, who sent you a free shirt? You talking about Jonathan? Yeah, Jonathan for Lone Wolf Day Trading. People don't like you. He left you with the check. No, we didn't even get there. Out the bathroom window. We didn't even have the opportunity. You know what? No, I'm finding this. Get out of here. Let's jump to present. I don't have to scroll back that far. Jump to present. When was Saturday or Friday was the 31st of January. All right, let's go. You guys have any questions or whatever, just let me know. Okay, here we go. I already found it. Hold on. I know we talked about orange chicken, or I wonder if he said Panda Express instead. Yeah, he said Panda. That's what, right? He says, you're going to, well, here, let's see. Coming over tomorrow, ? Jonathan says, I will buy you Panda. I said, haha, actually, if you want me to come over for lunch, I could. Wife is taking the kids up north, and I was just going to chill at the house alone until I left for the LAN party a little later. What time? ? Jonathan says. Speaking of which, you are invited if you want to come. I am longtime friends with the guy hosting, but everyone else I have only met once last month. So it would be nice to have a friendly face. I didn't say that, but that's what I was implying. And I said, I don't know, 12-ish? And I was telling them that they play a lot of Rocket League because that's kind of what me and Jonathan do. And he said, unfortunately, I am tied down for tomorrow evening. And I said, or he said, won't be available after 5 p.m. And I said, what did I say? And then okay, here we go. And I say, message me tomorrow around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we will see if we can do lunch. And I said, we'll see if lunch pans out. And guess what? Nothing. Nada. Ghosted. Jonathan ghosted me. Stood me up. Jerk. Yeah, you didn't go back. He messaged me. He's like, you won't find anything. Guess what? You didn't delete it fast enough. I found it. Have to head out preparing for the live stream tomorrow. Hope to see you there. Be there. What time is it, by the way? Circuit doesn't usually do live streams unless they got some good news. So that's good. I'm excited. If you guys don't know what Circuit is about, there's a link down in my description. Go check out their website. Check out their white papers, all that good stuff. Circuit is a cryptocurrency coin geared towards the racing industry, and they are doing some cool stuff. So if you're into crypto and looking for a new project to support, go check them out. They move fast. That's all I can say. You know what, Jonathan? I don't have the option tomorrow because I have to watch my kids. I had nothing to do last Saturday. Nothing. I was by myself. And guess what? I can't eat Panda anymore. I'm in, hopefully, ketosis by now. I've been doing keto all week. I've been doing keto. And I would hope I'm there. I'm already down 4 pounds, man. 4 pounds. Can you see it in my face? Can you see it? It's because I'm not eating Panda. Because I can't eat Panda no more. You know what I ate tonight for dinner? I took chicken. I took an egg. I took some Parmesan cheese, some onion powder and garlic powder, and I smashed it all together. I smashed it into the shape of a pizza crust, and I baked it for 16 minutes. It came out. I topped it with some sour cream, some guacamole, and I ate that thing. And I ate it. It was so good. Here, I'm going to show you guys a picture of it. It was so good. Look at this. I'm going to get the reflection. No. You can't really see it that well, but gets the picture across. And it's in dark mode because it's so late. Maybe the picture of before I cut it. Can't really see it. That's the guac on top, so that's kind of why it looks bad, but you get the idea. It was healthy. It was keto. It was yummy. It was so yummy. It was pretty good. Not gonna lie, I'm definitely gonna make it again. Where's Lone Wolf day trading at these days? I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, he says focusing on the crypto space at the moment. 10 p.m. Eastern for the live stream tomorrow, guys. Check them out. Go sub to their channel so you know when they're live. See, Zishan's interested. Get him, Zishan. Down 4 pounds. Sounds like we need to get some meat on your bones, Panda. You're a jerk. No, I don't need I have plenty of meat on my bones. I need less meat on my bones. Jonathan, are you going to be drinking heavily on the live stream? I think Jonathan said if you want to donate $10, he'll take shots. I remember Jonathan actually started that. GDT kind of took the crown when it comes to that, though. When he does his little Saturday night live streams, he takes some donations for drinks, and he gets pretty wasted. I remember he actually just asked today. He was like, I don't know why those streams do so well when I accept tips for drinks. And I was like, dude, it's so obvious. People are literally paying to make you drink, to get you drunk. I think it's pretty funny. I don't know. I would not do that because it's just not worth it to me, especially with the kids. I can't imagine waking up with a hangover from you guys getting me all drunk to the point where I can't even take care of my kids in the morning. But I'll never forget, Jonathan was taking shots out of this like boot thing, and one shot was like this much, and he was like literally like, I don't even know, he was like making a cocktail out of straight alcohol. I don't even remember what he was drinking, but he was doing it. And it was like an hour and a half in. I mean, he was just like, it's a stock market HBIs too. Oh, shit was cracking me up. Sorry, one sec. I'm helping Constantine out real quick. I sent a message to Das, and they actually responded. And he was like, wait, you sent CMEG an email and they responded? He was like, which email? And I was like, yeah, that's true. Didn't think of it that way. By the way, Jonathan, I do appreciate the donation. You guys know anything that gets... Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. You guys know that anything that does get donated to the channel goes right back into the channel. So I do appreciate that. Maybe, I haven't seen... I don't even know if the super chat works. Apparently the donations are working. If anybody's here and isn't subscribed, hit subscribe, and hopefully you have a public profile, so maybe it'll work. I'm always curious if those things are working. And, we never got to the tops. I think it was James that asked me. So let's go back to where you guys can see this a little better. So the tops, this is what would show. Actually, this isn't the one. Hold on. Here it is. Oops. All right. So this is what was on. He was basically just taking a screenshot of this scan, which is the top bullish alerts and the top bearish alerts for the day. And every single day he would take a screenshot and post it. So I would take this and I literally would just go on to Thinkorswim, and I would just find the max gainers and I would just roll through it until I saw a move happening. And obviously it gives you the alert time, but sometimes they'll alert multiple times. And as you can see, this one was at 1 in the afternoon. So I would try to find ones if they were on here that started early in the morning. And these were actually all in the afternoon on today. So I would look for ones that were in the morning close to the bell. And if I can't find any, I'll still look at them and I'll just run through the whole day in the morning. I'll just put it on fast forward until it makes a move, and then if I see it making a move, I'll slow it down to normal time, and I'll attempt to trade it. So that was what I used to do, and I guess I could still do it, but I haven't been just because I've been so busy trying to figure out what I want to do with my strategy here and there and all that good stuff. So, But this is another cool thing. It does kind of just show you that if you played BNTC on this alert to the long side, if you would have got in at the alert that the intensity stock watch scanners gave you at 616, it went up to 1127. You could have made 82.9% on your money if you would have hit it at the alert and got out at the perfect high of 1127. APDN, if you would have got in at the alert of 411, you could have made 24% on your money, and you guys get the idea. Top bearish alerts, YTEN, if you would have got in at 1415, it's got down to 815, so 73.8% on your shares. So that's kind of a way for the ISW scanner to show itself off, because it puts these alerts out every day. Every day. That's why I don't take anything that's not right off the scanner, because it just makes no sense to me. I don't prep. I don't do anything. I just let the scanners do all the work for me. Yes. Did it go through? I didn't hear anything. Maybe it'll lag a little bit. I see it here. Appreciate that, James. Testing the super chat. I like it. Let's see. It should have went right through on my software, though. It's kind of crappy. So it pops up in my dashboard, and I know I have it set. The alert box is there. Let me go and make sure the super chat. Yeah, super chat's selected. Yeah, see, that's crap. I don't know why it does that. Since you were testing it, I obviously would refund it if you want to, because I appreciate it. I don't know why it didn't go through. Let me see if it comes through if I reload this. And it does say I got some subscribers while you guys are here, but it looks like none of them were public. Let's see, log out, log in. Sometimes if I log out and log back in, it'll work, which is annoying that you have to do that. It really is. And that's one of the things I was talking about last Friday. I'm a little annoyed at that. So there it is. So it popped up there. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Maybe. Did it go? I didn't. You know what? Did it come? Well, I would have heard it, though. I have to put the alert box up here. There we go. Okay. Let's hit it one more time. There we go. Thank you, James. Appreciate that, man. And don't refund it. You said you were just testing it. I appreciate you testing it out. For all you guys that are new here, by the way, my name is Tim. If you want to be on a first name basis, feel free to type in the chat. I'm pretty good with remembering your names for the most part. Why is your market cap showing 0? Is it because you're still working on it? I'm still new to crypto. Oh, gotcha. That's for you, Jonathan, if you're still here. If not, you might have to get him on Discord, Zishan. Oh, there you go. Are you looking at CoinMarketCap or which reporting site? There you go. So, cool. What was I gonna... I was gonna say something... Das Boot. Yeah, that was it. Das Boot. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. I do plan on doing a video either tomorrow or Sunday. I can even tell you what it's going to be on. I've been doing the general trading tips, and I have them written down, so give me a sec. We did, what did we do last week? We did the... videos. There it is. Playing your trade your plan. That's right. That was number 2. No, that was number 3. Yeah. So number 4 is obey your risk. So that's going to be a good one. I actually have some good notes written down for that one. I have 10 total tips, and then I actually have some extra stuff too. So this can go on for quite a few weekends. I love doing this stuff. These are more the educational type videos. So throughout the week, you see my live trades. And David actually came up with a good idea for when I am done my live streams to go back onto the live stream after it's done processing. And for people that do want to watch the actual live trades, I'm going to start time stamping them. So look forward to that too. So I'm going to start doing the recaps as my videos after I'm done trading and just talk about the trades. But if there is a good live trade in there, I will, like, if there's something that I want to show you guys for educational purposes, I'm going to edit that into the video. But if it's just something like today on HBI, where I can just kind of go over it and just kind of tell you what happened. But if you still want to watch the live trade, it's always going to be there because I live stream every single morning. So either come check it out then, or if you want to go back later and check out the live stream, I'm going to actually start putting the timestamps to where the trades actually start. So that way you don't have to sit there and search through the actual live stream. So that'll hopefully be helpful to anybody that wants to go back and actually watch the trades happen. And one of the whole key purposes of watching somebody trade live is you can kind of see the emotions and stuff that you go through in real time. You can kind of see the thoughts that are going through my head as I'm talking through the trade, as I'm getting into the trade. You can see the way I'm looking at things as I'm doing those things. There's a lot that goes into live trading that you might not even understand. I always tell everybody, if you have the opportunity to record yourself trading, do it. You can learn so much that you don't think that you are learning about yourself while you're trading as a trader that you could be if you could record yourself. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Proof of stake and masternode, quicker transaction fees, lower cost of rewards, etc. No CoinGecko. I just looked at CoinMarketCap, still showing no data. The market cap is questioned because of circulating amount has not registered yet. Granted, market cap is calculated by circulating supply, X times the current value. Yes, we are in the initial phase of CoinMarketCap. If you'd like, you can send me a message on Discord. I will be happy to answer any questions. Okay, got you. And yes, he will answer any questions. That dude knows everything about crypto. It's kind of scary. Yep, or send a message to the Twitter. Twitter is in Volatility Trading's description. It sure is. So that's all I have, guys. If you have any additional questions, feel free to ask them. I'm going to sit here until 12 o'clock. And if we don't have anything good to keep the conversation going, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm pretty tired. I'm not going to lie. The caffeine out of these do not do anything for me anymore. That's why I need balls in my mouth. You hear me, balls? Sponsor me, balls. I even told Balls because there's a little section that says, why should Balls sponsor you? And I said, because I put balls in my mouth every live stream. And I told them, I talk about it anyway. I'll continue to show it off. And I told them every Friday night, I might give balls away, right? It would be a good way for me to send you one or two to have for yourself and get to experience what balls is all about. And they might drive some business from it, right? So to me, it's a win-win. So hopefully my channel is big enough now to where they actually allow something like that to happen. Underwear, they said, why should balls sponsor you? I should have just made a video clip of every time I said I like putting balls in my mouth and taking a drink and just linking that video to them. That would have been pretty funny, not going to lie. Maybe that's why you haven't heard back. That is true, James. That could be why I haven't heard back. It's funny. I don't care who you are. It cracks me up. What are we at now, anyways? 1451. You guys. Appreciate the support. We were at 1442, I think it was this morning. You guys are awesome. Circuit has been released to the public since July 7th, 2019. I personally have been in crypto for going on 3 years. Always. You guys, I was actually just looking at Bitcoin earlier. Looks like it's trying to get back through 10,000. It's like hovering around this 9,800 area. To me, it's a 10K magnet at this point. I remember the last time it went to 10K, everyone was like, oh my God. And then it just dove and everyone was like, oh my God, going the other way. I mean, if you guys really want to see something funny, crypto, Forex, futures, all that crap trades the same. The only reason I don't want to trade all those other, like I don't like trading all these other things is because the volume and the opportunities aren't as many, right? But they all trade the same. You get the same human emotion in all these markets. Look at this. Big para move. What's it do? Stronger the move, the weaker the trend. Strong move up. It was a weak trend. It pulls back before trying again. And what do you guys see here? What do you guys see on this chart? Let me see if I can draw it. Draw a line, man. How do you draw a line? Trend line. There we go. We'll kind of go down like this to get the point across. I'll draw another line. How do I draw another one? There we go. Horizontal line. There we go. What do you guys see there? Right? Descending triangle. And look what it did. It flushed. There it is. Boom. Descending triangle. And it came back up, tested it, and tried to fade back down. But then it got held of support, came back up, made its move. Another para, right? Another strong move. Guess what? Strong move, weak trend. There we go. Look, another descending triangle. Look at this. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. This stuff happens. These are the most common setups. The triangles, and look at the flush. Look at the flush you get there. That's a beautiful one. Goes up, big para, starts a descending triangle, squeezes nice and tight, boom. This is the daily chart. This is the daily chart. Look at that. It consolidates, and this is right off the intensity blueprint. I can't make this stuff up. Remember how he said it'll come down, bounce back up, and it'll start a new one based off of that new line? That's exactly what it did. Started a new descending triangle. Look at this. Give me the horizontal line. Look at that. I don't want to click that. Look at this descending triangle right there. And then boom, huge flush. And guess what? It started, and this is why I don't like longs, because longs take longer. But it did try to bounce, and then it ended up faking everybody out, saying, oh, we broke that very key support area right here. And then it got bought right back up. And look at what it did. Huge para. Went right through 10 grand, that 10,000 mark. Everyone started flipping out. Everyone started FOMOing in. Guess what? Strong move. Weaker trend. Oh, look. What forms? Everyone calls these bull flags. Why are people calling these bull flags? I could sit here and draw these all day and how they are descending triangles. Para into a descending triangle. All day long. Look at this. Para, descending triangle, flush. It's like the most, it's one of the most common. You see it over here. You see another one, another one, another one. It just happens. I mean, every once in a while you're going to get, and look, this wasn't a big para move, right? So this was, you could almost consider it a small descending triangle because you see some support lines there. But when you get ones like this is a bull flag. I don't really use the bull flag, but this was definitely a bull flag. Look how it's got the top is being used as the resistance line, and you're making higher lows each time. And then that's why you get the big spike up. So Bitcoin is very technical. It trades very technical, and it's just making essentially bull flag after bull flag after bull flag right now. But there's been a couple fake outs, but this thing definitely seems like it's going to be just it's going to at least probably touch 10,000. It got to 98.80, 98.65, so 98.80 so far. Yeah, Jonathan's very convinced this thing's going to break 20K. So I'm always debating on buying some Bitcoin, but I have some decent circuit, so I'm going to wait for circuit to take off. And I would assume if Bitcoin starts taking off, all the smaller subcoins will start to take off again as well. So especially ones that actually have a purpose. So, and I know circuit is on its way. Imagine being able to show up to a racetrack and using crypto circuit to pay for a hot dog or a t-shirt. That'd be pretty cool. Or a ticket to get in. Be pretty cool. Welton, what's up, man? We're just getting out of here, unless you got any questions. I probably missed you guys talking. See, I think I asked you this, but how long have you been in the crypto world? Oh, yeah, you did answer that. I'm holding Bitcoin since 4K. That's awesome, man. I actually know a guy that bought $100,000 worth of Bitcoin at 2,000. and he's still holding it. That's nuts. Freaking nuts. He just said he was investing in it, right? Long term. That was his thing. He believed in it. He felt he was at a good price. Took $100,000, invested it at $2,000. That was a long time ago, but he's still holding it. No questions, but news. Let's hear it. I want to hear your news. Give me some good news before we get out of here. BTC doesn't hold the ROI like other coins, as shown in 2017. There's this dude who's running for president that he wants to use crypto instead of dollars. How would that work? Yeah, I'll say crypto is already being used. And if you ask me, I'm a little confused why we still have cash. Let me correct myself. I'm a little confused why we still have like the penny and maybe even nickels. I mean, I guess you can keep nickels, but I'm a little confused why we still have pennies. Why the F do we still have pennies? Seriously. Why do we have pennies? It makes no sense. Cut those out. It makes 0 sense. Get rid of them. You can get rid of nickels too. You can get rid of... I really think the only coin you should keep is a quarter. And I don't even think you need quarters. Just make everything a dollar amount. And on top of that, you don't need... And if you want to keep the cents involved, then just get rid of the freaking money. Get rid of it. It doesn't need... You don't need it. Everything out there can be electronic. The only people that aren't using electronic stuff... And think of that. The only people that aren't using are like mom and pop shops because they don't want to claim it all in their taxes. Yes, and racing season is coming up. Yo. Scripted all kinds of stuff last night, and man, the execution was fast, was high. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. I told you, the execution on CMEG is nice. I know no one uses pennies. Seriously, we should like make a holy crap, I'm having such a brain fart. What's the thing where everyone signs it? Petition. Definitely starting to get tired, I guess. We should start a petition to get rid of pennies. I wonder if it would work. First day DOS trader, and it feels like home. Even trading was a home run. That's awesome, man. So awesome. Great. I love to hear that stuff. Seriously. Even just having, I'm actually going to probably make a new DOS trader platform, like tutorial type video, just kind of where I open it up and I'll start one from fresh and try to, if I can. I don't even know if I can. I have my setup, so I should be able to. But try doing that and just making a new video because there's some pretty cool features that it has that I would like to go over, like how to make your back screen all black, because when you use dark mode it's actually like a gray. It's actually really simple to do. If you want to distinguish between your demo account and your real account, you can do that by using the colors. There's some pretty cool things you can do. You can change the color of your triangles. As you can see, I have blue and orange instead of green and red, just because I feel like you can see them a little better. When you use the same green and you end up using it on a candle that is also green, same with the red, it tends to just not show up that well. So there's tons of different things that you can do that are pretty cool now. I actually meant to put this in. I keep meaning to put the low a day back in here, but I never got around to it because I wanted to change this to the same dotted line as that one, and then change this one to the solid line, red, commit. Where is it? Well, it changed that one, but it didn't give me the new one. See if I switch stocks. Oh, it tried to give it to me. Go back to HBI. Oh, you know why? Because it's now clicked over. Because now it's giving me the dotted line for today, so it's registering this as yesterday's. Okay. Okay, I got it. Actually, overseas in certain countries, there's only full dollar amounts, $1, $5. There isn't $4.99. They don't use coins, save money. 1 penny costs 2 pennies to make. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't get it. That's so smart of them. The United States does that because of sales tactics. Like, if you wanted to buy something and it was $1,000, but if it said 1000, you would be less inclined to buy it if it didn't say $9.99. There's like scientific studies of this crap, and I can see how it works, but it's crap. So if you go to the gas station and you see that that gas is $3.99, it's as close as you can get to $4. But if it says $4, you'd be like, it's $4. But if it's $3.99.9, you're gonna be like, oh, God, that's not too bad. It's $3.99. Well, they do that because of that. Like, they know that if they just 1 penny, just that, it's not even 1 penny because of the freaking 9-cent tax they put on it. Don't get me started. Doesn't make any sense. Get rid of the penny. What's the difference? $4.95 or $3.95 versus $3.99. Who cares? Get rid of the penny. Nobody wants a stupid penny. Just mouse click in the chart, then hotkey, and then find adjust order. Brilliant. I absolutely love the hotkeys that you can use for this. And the only reason I'm keeping these hotkeys I made that I was using when I first started the front side strategy is because if at the end of the month, come the end of February, if the strategy that we're using is proving that, hey, it wasn't just a weak fluke and the strategy just sucks, then I'm going to go. I'm going to tell you guys right now, for anybody that's still here. I'm actually going to show you guys. Let's see, February. Let's go back to February 8th. And we'll just go to today. It's fine. So that should do it. Go to the overview. So since I started the intensity strat back on February 8th, this is my P&L chart. Now keep in mind, since like right here, I want to say it was like right I think it was, yeah, it was right here because I was up around 700. This is when I started messing around and trying the new stuff. And as you can see, I've been just having a string of bad luck. But anyways, before that, I proved to myself that I could make money with the 112 system I was using. What do you see here? You see these two cliffs. MTSI, this was the trade, the cliff. And then we gained all that back and some, and we started making some real money. And then LYV. And then after LYV, I said, because I thought after MTSI, I took that whole month of June off, and I tried to figure out how to not let this happen again. And I was doing really well. And then out of nowhere, LYV gets me, and I realized I did it again. And I started saying, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, something's wrong with the strategy that I can't make it work without taking these big losses every once in a while. Well, guess what? It had nothing to do with the strategy. Nothing. Those two losses, MTSI and LYV, I broke my rules on both of them. Both of them. I broke my rules. And I fought the stock, and I lost way more than I should have. Way more. But guess what? For some reason, I'm thinking there's something wrong with the strategy. There's not something wrong with the strategy. There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. And that's why, even though I'm messing around with my strategy and stuff like that right now, and changing around, doing all this other stuff, I was more focused throughout this whole time period right here, of reading into how to fix my emotions of trading, right? Emotions is a much bigger part to trading than anybody thinks it is. It is trading. Controlling your emotions is trading. That is what trading is. Hitting buy and sell with a strategy in place, that's simple. Coming up with a strategy where you say, I'm going to buy here and I'm going to sell here at this specific price point, this risk point, this is where I'm going to stop out. You can say those things, but guess what? When you actually get in the trade, actually executing those orders, that's where the emotions come in. And guess what? MTSI, I didn't follow that. And look what happened. LYV, same thing. So if what I'm doing now, which I still believe can work, if it doesn't work by the end of February, we are going to go back to this, because I haven't, since I've had this new mindset, like I said, after watching that workshop with Mark Douglas and all that good stuff, since having this new mindset, I haven't traded with this strategy. I haven't done it. So it obviously works, right? And it's been proven to work over months and months, right? The only drawbacks were 2 huge losses that were very avoidable, right? They were me. It wasn't the strategy, it was me. And I'm finally now realizing that. I'm finally realizing that. It had nothing to do with the strategy. If you look at those charts, let's go look at them real quick. Simple MTSI and LYV. So these are the 2 trades. We ended up losing $1,040 on MTSI when my max loss on any given trade throughout my doing that strategy was supposed to be $100. $100. I lost 10 times that on one trade. Let's take a look at the chart. I don't think it might not be in here. I have to go back and grab it from. Give me 1 sec. Here's my MTSI chart. So what have you guys seen me do recently, right? I get in, and what do? I cut the trade at high a day, right? So if I would have got in here, and I got in too big with my share size here when I took MTSI. So what I did is I ended up I took half my shares off. I took half my shares, reducing the trade, looking to get back in a little bit later, looking for it to ultimately fall over. Where if I would have just cut my trade off, I would have been done, right? I could have looked to get back in later if I wanted to, but it wouldn't have been anytime soon because it just kind of grinded. It just grinded the rest of the way. But since I was still in it, I was playing that grind. And look what it did. It just grinded higher and higher and higher. And I kept fighting it until the point where I realized, okay, this is my last attempt. It finally looked like it was ready to die and fall over. And it didn't, right? Just like LTHM did. This almost looks just like LTHM, right? But LTHM, we played a little bit different. We had our risk intact, right? We kept cutting the trades and letting new trades come to us. We didn't fight it all the way from the beginning, right? We didn't keep trying to average up, waiting for the drop to happen, right? We kept exiting our trade, realizing we were wrong, and looking for a new trade. If I would have done that here, we wouldn't have lost $1,000, right? We might have lost, I know we were size too heavy here. We might have lost like 150, something like that. It's a lot better than 1,000, right? Okay, LYV. I don't know if I have LYV's chart on here. I don't think I do. Okay, let me see if I... Crappers. Do I not have LYV's chart? Well, anyways, I mean, we can just look at this because, I mean, that's another good thing that TraderSync does. They do make a chart for you. But just to give you the rundown, I lost $706.50, or actually $720.75 after commissions. So this isn't the best looking chart. They're actually working on these to make them look better, like give you the option of putting arrows and stuff like that. But this thing was an afternoon trade, as you can see. Volume out of nowhere. We kind of let it make its move, or at least we thought we did. And we jumped in this with too much share size. If we would have had the hotkeys that we had now, and we still had that chart, if you remember on my scanner screen, we had the chart up. So with that chart, it told me that I should take 10 shares. Or 25 shares, sorry. Look at what I started with, 50. I started with 50 because I was looking at my overall P&L curve at the time, and I was like, man, we're killing it. Let's start to, ramp it up a little bit, maybe accept the risk a little bit more. Stupid. Don't do it, right? Stay within your means. Yeah, everything was working. Why did you change? Anyways, 50, 50. And that's the other thing. What happened to 112? What happened to 112 and cutting if it didn't work? Yeah, I was more than happy apparently to just go 1 1 1 1 1 1. Look how many times I hit 1. 1 sell 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 times I hit the sell button. 11 times. And then guess what? It didn't drop. It just kept on going. So we were just waiting and just waiting and waiting. And guess what? It just never did it. So we slowly started getting out of our position. That was it. What else were we supposed to do? I mean, it obviously wasn't dropping. It was obviously news driven. It was obviously something around this price that they were thinking that it was just going to hold there because it obviously didn't want to come back down any further. So we started getting out of our position. And that was a big loss. Where if we would have, right here, see this one red candle that you can't really see? If we would have just played that correctly, 1 1 2, tried to drop down, goes high a day, cut it right there above 69, done, trade's over, lose whatever you lost, be done. Okay, whatever. If you would have sized it correctly, it should have been $100. If you size it incorrectly, okay, maybe $200 at max, not 700. Right? I was the problem, not the strategy. The strategy gave you exits on both of these trades. I just didn't take them. I wanted to win the trade. I wanted to prove that I was right and the stock market was wrong, right? Guess what? The stock market doesn't give a rat's ass about what you think. Trust me. The quicker you learn that that's the case, the better off you'll be. That's all I can say. I did not expect to get into that. I really did not. But I'm glad I did, because that was a very good rant. But anyways, yes, I'm going to stick with the way I'm trading right now for the rest of this month. If it doesn't start to pan out and work the way that I would like it to work, we are going to be going back to the way that we were trading before with the new mindset. So oh no, Bitcoin, it's rejecting. But so that's all I got. See what you guys continue your circuit conversation, circuit Bitcoin. You missed a few chat posts, at least at the time of writing this. What? No, I didn't miss any. To be honest, I joined DOS at the right time because the feature to move orders around in the charts is a must for me, and I believe that's a new feature. Kind of. Sorry, Welton, but yeah, kind of. I tried it. Apparently, CMEG is having an issue with replacing orders. So let me show you. Because I actually was messing with this last night. So I have it enabled. So if I put an order in, let's see, good to cancel, so it'll actually come up. I always just do the demo account just to be safe. I don't want any orders kind of leaking around. So let's do 1470. So short. Reject short security is not shortable. What? Yeah, it is. It says it is right there. All right, whatever. We'll buy. So we'll do 14. Okay, so it puts the order out there, and it's actually, oh no, it's not. Okay. You can actually, so this is what it does, by the way. You can put this on the thing. But if you try to move it, yes, it does have the ability to move it. But when you go to move it, this pops up. Order replace is not allowed. Please contact your broker. So feel free to contact them. But I know that Constantine was also telling me that he would change his order in the montage and hit the replace button here, the RPL button, and it doesn't work. So I don't know if that's just, I know it's just a CMEG thing because I know that other people use it on other brokers. So maybe that's something you could contact DOS about, maybe get them on the phone, ask them why that button doesn't work. But that's kind of a thing, is that feature is not going to work unless they have the ability to replace orders. So just to let you know. Just mouse click in the chart, then hotkey, then find adjust order. Brilliant. But yeah, I got you. Shishan, feel free to subscribe to the free newsletter. Has great circuit info. Yes. If you are interested in circuit, go subscribe to the free newsletter. I believe Jonathan gave me the link to that. Where is it? Here it is. He tried to post it last week and it didn't let him. There you go. There's the link to the circuit newsletter. It's worked for me all morning, but I'm with Interactive Brokers. Yeah, see, you're with Interactive Brokers. So that's kind of the key there. Okay, so I said I was getting out of here at 12, but I had a nice rant. I felt good about that rant. For somebody that had the worst trading week of their career, I feel like I'm in a good spot. I do. I don't really feel like I had the worst trading week of my trading career. I don't feel like I had the worst trading week of my trading career. So I guess that's a plus. So if you are here and you haven't liked, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't donated $150 million gajillion to my YouTube channel, do that. It would be much appreciated. It all goes right back into the YouTube channel. Seriously, it does. Oh, I didn't actually mean it. Oh, that's James. See, there it is. For some reason, it was delayed, but it finally came through. I don't understand why. What? Oh, it's coming through again. Oh, wait, that's Marcelo. What? I don't know. The super chat is like really messed up with Streamlabs. Are you serious? Oh, so it's doing all three of yours. So it did James and then both of Marcelo, so it should stop there. And that was from like weeks ago. So I don't get it. Super chat's weird. I always say don't use super chat because YouTube takes like half of it. So if you guys ever are going to donate, use the link down. I think it's the first link, the one that says support the stream. It'll take you to Streamlabs, and they don't take anything. So if you ever do support a creator, whether it's me or anybody else, if they have the Streamlabs available, use that instead of the super chat because it actually benefits them a little bit more. See, Jonathan? Now I get a little... Jonathan's going to send me like a million gajillion circuit coin for getting Zishan to sign up for the newsletter. I'm just kidding. Just realized that HBI actually had a pretty nice ascending triangle too, which we saw. We actually saw this in the moment. We just missed it. But neither here nor there. I'll give you guys another 2.5 minutes. See if you guys have any additional questions. I officially am out of rants here. Let me give you the good old weekend thingamajigger. Today's was go you got this for the weekend. That's kind of a good one. It feels better to be optimistic. So remember that over the weekend. And if you guys do have any additional questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff over the weekend that you may have not thought of tonight, again, feel free to hit me up in the Discord. Feel free to find me on Twitter. I link both of those in the chat. And yeah, I'm always available, guys. Seriously. I'm always here to answer some questions. I love talking about the stock market. It's kind of my thing now. It's my jam. So if you guys want to talk about it over the weekend, I'm here. I'm here. Do I get half of that? Zishan, there's actually ways. I believe there's still some. If you go to their website, excuse me, that should be down in the description, but I'll put it in the chat real quick. If you go to their website, they have a fountain, which I'm about to get some myself just to show you. My internet is like being really slow for some reason. So it's a faucet, sorry, not a fountain. I guess it's kind of the same thing. So if you come to their website, getting started, go to the CRCT faucet. You load it up, and I guess mine is probably already in here. Yep. And I'm not sure if Jonathan's still here to give you guys the promo code. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I might have it here. Let me see. Haha. There we go. So if you just put volatility trading. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, don't use volatility trading. Can I get rid of this? Remove. There we go. So John said use circuit racing promo code. So I don't know what that's going to give you. You guys would have to, I guess, see. But yeah, if you just come in here, if you have a promo code, let's see. Let's put circuit racing in there ourselves. We'll see what it gives us. I am not a robot. Claim your circuit. So we got success. You have been awarded 48.32. That's pretty awesome considering the highest you can get is 50 and the minimum is 15. And additionally, you received a bonus of 430.57, I guess, from the, yeah, so up to 500. Beautiful. Look at that. Boom. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Free circuit, baby. All you got to do is have the wallet, come to the CRCT faucet just like I did, and put your wallet address. Speaking of which, there's my wallet address if anybody wants to send me some goodies. And yeah, come check out their site, man. They put some work into this. It's pretty cool. They sponsor iRacing driver. They sponsor a Real Legends driver. Like I was actually just in here taking a look at some of the drivers. Scott Denon is the Legend Car driver. Open Wheel Modified. They have Rob Rocket Moore Sport Truck. They got Mike Bellinger, and then they got Christian West from iRacing. So I mean, circuit's going places, guys. Seriously, they're definitely going to be going some places. You have to talk to Jonathan about this because I'm not that experienced. But yes, I know for a fact that you can take CRCT and it's paired to Bitcoin. So if you go to Barack, which is I guess the main platform that they're using, you can actually use Bitcoin to buy circuit, and when you sell circuit, you get Bitcoin. So that's what it's paired to. Yeah, Jonathan just said, yes, CRCT is paired to Bitcoin. So yes, that's exactly how it works. All right, guys. Well, I don't really see any more questions for me. I'm going to get out of here. I always appreciate your guys' support. You know that. I believe everyone that's here has liked and has subscribed, but if for some reason you haven't, do it. Make it your weekend. Pay it forward to me by saying, hey, I support you a little bit, Tim, just a little bit. So I'm going to hit that like button. And I just say that stuff because I think it's fun. I don't even know if it really does anything. And my channel's not big enough to where it probably does do anything, but I'm going to get out of here. Have a great weekend, guys. Look for my video tomorrow, probably tomorrow, maybe Sunday, not sure. It's going to be a good one, talking about risk management. What is it titled? Yeah, it's titled Obey Your Risk. So look for that. And I will see you guys Monday morning. So again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to find me in the Discord, find me on Twitter, or just leave a comment on YouTube. I answer every single one of them. And I will see you guys later. Peace.
Welcome to LiveTraders.net Live Trading Chat Room. Here, you'll get the opportunity to watch 3 pro traders, Anmol, Jared, and Jay, trade live every day. You get to look over their shoulders, watch their screens, as well as hear their audio in real time. In addition to getting to see their trades, you'll also hear the insights and thoughts on your trades and any questions that you may have. The educational experience in this room will help better your trading and get you the results you deserve. So come join us and several other traders and learn while you earn.